I do not care if you have cancer. My child deserves your seat. L. This encounter happened about 7 months ago. I do not want to insult your intelligence, because you most likely already know what M and me stands for. But I should say that EK in this story stands for embarrassed kid and OG stands for old gentleman 60-some-year-old guy. The kid was very polite and sorry. So this story isn't about him. Also, I'm translating this into English, so bear with me. A little backstory. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with a cancer of the nasal cavity stage 2. The tumor was quite large, but thankfully benign at it. People have pointed out I formulated this wrong. By benign, I wanted to shorten the fact it still did not spread into other tissue. Thus, it was still contained, which is what I thought the word meant. I apologize for my gaps in knowledge to get it removed. I first had to undergo aggressive chemotherapy to make it smaller. Thanks to the chemo, I had severe alopecia hair loss, which made most of my hair and even eyebrows and eyelashes fall out. At some point, I had to go bald, but I wore a wig because I didn't want to look like a skinhead or neo-Nazi. I'm 6'4" and pretty muscular, so I thought people would assume. So once, after a long chemo session in the hospital, I took the bus home. There's only one bus that goes from the hospital to where I live, so I took that one only to see it was absolutely packed. I felt like shit thanks to the chemo, so I asked a middle-aged dude to let me sit. He was very understanding and gave me his spot without complaining. If you're reading this, thanks, bro. 2 stops later, enter M. A lovely whale with an I demand a parley with the CEO. Haircut and a 12-some-year-old kid. It took her roughly 5 seconds to see the bus was packed, start looking for a free seat, spot me and start marching or, in her case, trying to fit in the aisle between the seats while shoving others aside to me. When I saw her, I knew I was screwed. She then stood next to me and decided to talk to me. This is the conversation that followed. M. Hey, could you let my kid sit down? Me? You mean me? M. Who else? Me? Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm on my way from the hospital and M. Cutting me off, so are we nonsense? The stop was a few kilometers away from the hospital. My boy just broke his leg and we're coming straight from there. Her kid was standing next to her without any super. Clearly embarrassed me. He's standing next to you completely fine and look here. Boy, I am 21, yo. My kid deserves to sit down me. Look, madam, I'm sorry, but I just got back from a chemo session in the hospital and I need to sit down and rest. I then moved my wig a bit to let her see my bald head. M then straight up started yelling in my face. M, stop making excuses and get off the F and at ing seat you. F at an ing skinhead piece of ST. At this point, I was baffled. I didn't know what to say. The kid was trying to make his mother stop, and we had the attention of the whole bus. She then grabbed me and tried to yank me from my seat. I held on tight and thankfully didn't fall off. Now, enter Og, my savior. Og, will you shut the F and K up, you dumb cow? M, who do you think you're talking to? Og, with ice-cold voice, stop assaulting other passengers or I will be forced to step in. Also, every dumb moron could see that the dude has cancer. M, no, he's just a F and an ing skinhead. Og, he's got no eyebrows, you twat. Seems like that really offended him because she spun around on the spot and threw a falcon punch in Og's face. I was shocked and in disbelief. The whole bus was flabbergasted and the kid probably wished he'd never been born. Og then said something unbelievable and a golden, sweet karma moment followed. Og, okay, that does it. Harassing passengers on the bus. Physical assault against a passenger and now assaulting an officer. You're in deep trouble, lady. Og then pulled out a badge and told her to stay where she was. Then he pulled out his phone, called someone and told her she was being arrested. I couldn't believe it. Og was a bloody cop. At this point, M was as white as a wall. The bus had just come to a stop, so she decided she'd make a run for it. But other passengers blocked her way. She then also got charged with resisting arrest thanks to this. 3 stops later, a police car was waiting for the M and Ek told me he was sorry for his mother's behavior and I felt really sorry for the kid. He wasn't a bad child, but his mother was a hellspawn. Og then talked to me and asked me if I wanted to press charges, to which I gladly said yes. Took a statement and thankfully was kind enough to let me solve everything on the phone, so I didn't have to come to the police station for questioning. In the end, M got some jail time. I think it was a few months and some community service. I, in return, got a good story to tell and the sweet taste of instant karma. Right now, I'm riding the same bus home, as I just got back home from the hospital after a checkup, which reminded me of this. A friend who's sitting next to me told me I should post it here. He, as much as myself, also couldn't believe that such people exist. But it seems I proved it to him. I should also note that the surgery went well. I was declared cancer-free in November and my hair is slowly returning. Also, I don't need to wear a wig anymore.